you want to do. So my children begrudgingly joined me. So I started making these little lunches in my home, and they're these beautiful, two sweet young men.
Hot.
Good looking, sweet.
Yes,
They had a
ma'am.
lot of manners. They knew how to get along with people. I said, I am going to pimp them out on the street. I am going to pimp those two boys out with my lunches. I said, the women in these office buildings will love to see them. Plus, the food's going to taste real good. So it worked. It worked. Before the bag lady ended, I had like 5 routes running throughout Savannah. And people just loved the service. But I tell you what, it was hard. It was so hard, girls. But I never, ever lost sight of what my goal was. And my goal was to gain total and complete independence and take responsibility for myself. Something I had never done. I had never done that. I went from my daddy's home to my husband's home. And I'm from the generations, the 60s, and a Southern generation at that, where you stayed home, you had babies, you did the vacuuming, the cooking, the cleaning, the husband went out and made the living, and y'all lived happily ever after. Sometimes it's a dream, but lots of times it turns into a nightmare. So at 42, I took total and complete responsibility for me. I said I had just as much sense as anybody else. So there was no reason for me to not step up to the plate and strike at that ball. Well, here I am 20 years later. I'll try not to be emotional. Let's laugh, yes. Thank you, honey, me too. And God has not missed one day blessing me, y'all. To do that. He blesses hard work. And, it was not all good, but I was on the right course. And if you read my book,
I have.
and that book was very hard to write. It was very hard. I did a lot of laughing, and I also did a lot of crying. Because I finally got the chance to ask for divorce. Because I said, yeah, I can live the rest of my life without a man. Well, I may have been lying to myself that day. I asked myself that question. But loneliness came into my life. And it was horrible. Loneliness can cause you to make bad decisions. And I got involved with a married man. I was not raised that way. Not a day went by that I didn't think how hurt my mother and daddy would be if they knew what I was doing. Went on for 10 years. I took whatever crumbs he would throw my way. And I thought, well, you must not deserve me more than that. I love you too. I told you that damn book was hard work. No, I still got time. Okay, thank you, sister. You're leaving. Okay. So, I knew it was awful. I had leveled with my children. I had told them what I was doing. And they were heartbroken. They so disapproved. But I couldn't help it. My loneliness was bigger at that moment than anything else. Well, one day I got up and I came home and I was thinking all day long about how many times this man had stood me up, and I'd get ready and no phone calls, no show. And I said, "What are you doing, girl? What are you doing? You have got two wonderful sons, a business that's growing and thriving. What are you thinking?" So I went home that night, and I was living downtown in a cute little pre-Civil War house on one of the squares. And I decided one more time God could help me here. And I decided that night as I was unlocking the door to my little house, I said, "I know what, God? I need for you to send me a neighbor. Because all I do is work. I don't like bars. I never got a taste for alcohol. I didn't have time for civic work. Sundays was the one day I had to be at the restaurant because nobody else wanted to work Sundays. And that was our busiest day, so I couldn't even go to church. So I said, "But Lord, if you'll send me a neighbor, I might could meet him as I was getting in my car to go to work, or I could meet him when I was coming home and getting out of my car, or when I was walking Sam and Otis to the little park, the wee-wee and stuff."